Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, I just had some breakfast. Just broke my fast. And I just wanted to make a few videos. But today, what's going on? So, the landlord of this house is coming by. We'll be here at probably 4 something, maybe that hour. So my roommate told me, Jeff, and then the guy that I spoke with before moving in, Will, to be out of here like 4, and then the other one said like 3:30. But I just wanted to make this video talking about the state of, the house and how it was prior to, what's going on today, and why I guess I'm making this video relating it to astrals and stuff. So it was pretty messy. It was dirty, and it was like that pretty much up until this past few days when it was all hands on deck, pretty much cleaning the place, and not me, like all of the 6 ether beings were basically doing the thing. And I just started thinking, okay, like why, what's going on? We've been living this way. I was the one that got introduced into this space after it being this way for however long prior to me being here. What has changed? What is occurring? So there was dog hair everywhere. I mean, it was messy. That's all I can say. Messy and dirty. And my brother even made a comment about it, like when I first moved in. And I'm talking, they got the carpet steam cleaned. But there's just been a drastic difference. I mean, 0 to 100, truly. And it looks nice. But, what's the reason for that? So now let's relate it to the landlord. Landlord's coming over today. I'm subleasing. Jeff is subleasing. And Dakota downstairs, who lives here, is subleasing. None of us are on the lease. That's how it was set up. Why is it that way? I told my parents back in December, about this Kundalini energy rising, and my mother straight up said, who was a Maxwell, that I was scaring her because of this information. How is me telling you and inviting you on the truth that this Kundalini is rising and we're moving to a time where we will be living in peace? Why is that scaring you? And that we won't have to worry about these bills when you are acting frantic, informing my brother and I about how gas is going up, about how rent is going up, about how XYZ is all going up. Why is me telling you that is okay? Because this is happening, so it's going to fix that issue, put fear into you. So they set all these things up, right? December 31st was when I got that astral experience where it said, my brother's name is Liam. Liam, if Ryan is sick, he needs to be removed and hospitalized for 3 weeks. And, then starting in January, that's when all the real, action behind it started happening since then. But I had that astral experience on December 31st because I had that conversation with my parents shortly after Saturnalia, December 25th, Christmas. So they went up in the astrals and made some plans. Relating it back to this, I'm not on the lease. They knew that by this point in my life, I would start unplugging in this way, and if I were the one to sign my name on a document saying that, I am to pay this mortgage or I'm to pay rent to the landlord, after reading chapter 5 of Pao Chang's book, Words Are Spells, I would have the awareness that all I am doing is making a pledge to the dead. And it's my energy that is supplying the dead and the dead spirits that then make them feel alive, because it's my energy that is in this lower vibratory state where I'm hustling, I'm struggling, I'm sweating, working this 9 to 5 to get this money to then pay them. And I would have gotten to the point where I would have called up the landlord and said, hey, This contract is completely null and void because of this. What's your surety bond number? What's the insurance you're bonded with? And where do I need to go to file this claim against you for violating my natural rights? That would have impacted this matrix in more of a drastic way. So how can we set it up when Ryan is away from his brother and he doesn't do this? So that's why, I'm subleasing and the other two are. And when I shared this with the roommate, Jeff, who is the deity that I spoke about in the poem, I Believe in You, it was very telling, with the behavior. They don't want that to happen because that will affect this game that is being played. So that's a little backstory as to why, subleasing and connecting it with everything that is going on in this matrix. But the landlord is coming over today. So I'm going to be out, and I was told to be out for a few hours, like 3 to 4. So I'm wondering, what's really going to happen, How this house is right now, I know it's not going to be the same after the landlord comes with whatever happens. I don't know if they're going to go into the astrals. For all I know, these other beings, the deity, and then some of the roommates could come and they could just be doing a bunch of spell work, but they don't want me here. This is why, again, they're saying none of us are on the lease, so it's best if all of us are not here so that this doesn't turn into an issue. So I hope those dots are connected, because they're connecting for me. Yeah, I just have a feeling something's gonna happen, or something is going to be done, either to the whole house or just my room, because none of us will be here. Let's focus on me. I won't be here, and if I was here, if I was in this house, I would be in my room. They don't want me there, not for 1 hour, but for possibly 3 or more. That's a lot of time for a landlord to just walk around. It is not that big of a house. So that's why I feel like something is gonna happen. Connecting the dots with when all this started happening, from the Liam, if Ryan is sick, he needs to be removed and hospitalized for 3 weeks, to me then having that experience in the astrals with seeing my father, the Rothschild, and then the Maxwell leaving me in the spell tower. And I didn't know what it was at first. I've shared that. I didn't know if it was a prison or a hospital or something else. I will now say it's a hospital. To now having these other experiences in the hospital with these same people, and before moving in here, interacting with the guy named Will, who said to me, maybe the only thing that would get you kicked out or anything is if you, I don't know, had a breakdown, but I doubt that will happen, but they have to tell the truth. That's their way of them letting me know that something's gonna go down like that eventually. So bringing it back to the deeper motivation and reason as to why everything got steam cleaned. Everything got seriously cleaned. Stuff in the front yard, or not even the yard, but just to the side of the house, cleaned. Garage, cleaned. Backyard, looking more presentable. Porch or balcony, cleaned. So I never even think it's just a setup for later. And guess what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Come the end of the month, I will know. You will know. And I'll make a video about it in August. And then continue, just speaking about these experiences that I'm having in the astrals relating to the hospital and with everything that's just going on here. But I definitely think, after all of these experiences with one, the hospital, 2, with people saying to me, oh, well, maybe if you just have a breakdown, I don't know. And then I took an art class and the woman just programmed there because I didn't have health insurance at the time. And they're like, Ryan needs to get health insurance. And he's obviously not going to listen to his two parents because he's separating from them. So it has to be somebody else. So this woman named Lorraine was like, we took this art class, but her whole job was to, make sure that I am aware of health insurance. I consented to setting up this health plan. But the whole purpose of that, she kept saying, well, if anything happens, I just want to make sure that you're covered. If anything happens, I want to make sure that you're covered. And that was in end of April, and then I spoke to her a bit in May. To then my mother saying to my brother, and then me talking to him, me confirming with them about when I smelled marijuana back in January, of how she started saying, well, maybe you're hallucinating. Maybe it's something in the air. Planting the seeds to say that I am insane, that I am crazy, going back to then. But my brother, thankfully, by that point, and with just where he was with his Kundalini, where I was, and where our relationship was, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to believe that. And he didn't. She kept pestering and trying to plant those seeds, but he wasn't listening, So tying the dots of all of that with, being in this house now and having thoughts planted into me, and I've shared that in different videos, being pulled out of the astrals, my consciousness, and shot back into this body here. And then my mouth, I'm literally, words are rising up from deep in here, like right about here, and then coming up, shooting out left side of the brain, and they're coming out of my mouth. And that's not me. I have enough awareness. There comes a point, maybe the first 2 words I say, because I'm looking at it, plant butter, plant butter, plant butter. And then that plant butter. This time, I have like that awareness again, and it's like, that's not my thought. That thought does not belong to me. That is the planted thought. And then it loses its power. But point is, that hasn't happened before like that, or at least let's say I have enough awareness. Well, no, it hasn't. Have not felt it like that before. And I've just noticed it more because of me getting pulled out of the astrals more at night. To my body, making these jolts again, like, just that they haven't happened, before, but it's still in those moments where I've been pulled out of the astrals, and this is happening. It's like they're testing if, the controls work for this real life puppet that they are then going to use on a specific date. So with all of that, I just wonder if there'll come a point where if something goes down and I can't fight against whatever that thing is that starts from the left side, and those thoughts are planted, and then I'm verbally speaking, they're getting access to my voice box, those words and phrases. And then with my hands, when it shot out that very first night that I came here, and I almost hit my wall, made physical contact with the wall right behind me in my bedroom. Bottom line, all that put together, I can see why they've said, oh, maybe if you have a breakdown. Well, if somebody is doing the controlling, then that makes sense. And over the past 2 days, I've just had more specific sensations, like smells, like smelling soap and whatnot. But I know I will say that is because of the night. So 2 days ago, that night, before the start of that first day, was when I had that interaction with that ET that I posted about. The one that had a grayish brown skin. And it was all work being done on this side of my astral body. The side where I feel these sensations coming from, and then which impacts the scent of whatever it is that I'm smelling. So lots of factors, and it's just stuff has gotten, I'll say, stronger. Like that pulsating sensation in the left side of my brain has, increased since that interaction. So whatever the work was done on my astral body that is being affected, that is making me feel what I'm feeling in this physical, let's just say it was done. All that work was done. So all that put together, I just wanted to make this video and just more so give myself an update as to what is all going on and invite y'all in on the experience of what is currently happening. And why, again, this landlord, he may not be here for that many hours, but that's what I've been told, to stay away for several hours. And again, after reading chapter 5, the landlord isn't the landlord. The state is the one that owns the property. It's just fake, an illusion. And the ones that run everything are the blackamoors and the fallen angels. And one of the fallen angels that lives here, is the roommate. That is the deity who's running this show. So he does not want me in this house for a specific reason. So, going forward, if anything weird happens, I'm gonna just be glad that I made this video and attempted connecting more of the dots, And for the people that say, oh, well, that's never happened to me. Well, first, let's talk about how if you are carbonated, if you are not a fallen angel, if you're still connected to source, and if you chose to come down here to help everybody, including yourself, get out this goddamn illusion, this goddamn hologram. So now that's this video. I will just be making an update sometime later. I want to send peace, courage, protection, and divine cosmic love to all divine 9 ether beings who are on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are. Peace.